Certainly Super Mario 64 is much better than some of the Nintendo 64 titles on the market. I guess the only quarrel that I would have with it is that we can't achieve the kind of quality, that level that we have with Super Mario 64 every time out. That's a goal, and the only thing that I can say is that we're concentrating on that goal, and I think that the kind of quality that you would see in either Bond or 007 or Conqueror's Quest or Banjo-Kazooie demonstrates that by concentrating on that and working at it as our goal, that we are successful most of the time. And we are going to continue to be very picky on this issue of quality with N64. Sometimes we'll succeed, sometimes we won't. But we don't plan on lessening our standards. So I thought your commentary was fair, and I think that it was responsible reporting, and really don't quarrel with it. There is a Donkey Kong game in the works.
Right.
We don't have any plans to do that right now. It's an interesting idea, but there's nothing like that underway. I think game developers like to concentrate on new stuff, and it's pretty difficult to try to convince a Mr. Miyamoto that he ought to spend time on bringing out classic titles when he's busy on things like Zelda 64. So probably we won't do anything like that. Well, as you know, we've had a relationship with Rare since the early 1980s, and we have been friends with the Stampers and Joel Hochberg since the days that when Nintendo was in the coin-op business. We invested in Rare several years ago, so we certainly saw their potential a long time ago. And that investment was a very wise one, because the quality of games that they have brought to the market and their development expertise has proven that we made a sound investment. We are very pleased with the relationship with Rare, and especially with the quality of development work that's going on there. It's just exceptional. And we couldn't be more pleased with that relationship, and that's one of the reasons why we increased our minority investment. And it's one of the reasons that Rare is expanding its development capacity and also is getting into the publishing business. Mr. Arakawa and I have known Joel Hochberg since probably 1981 or 82, and Joel is a veteran of the games business, both in coin-op and in consumer. Joel brought Chris and Tim Stamper to Nintendo in 1984. They had figured out a way to reverse engineer the Famicom, the original NES, and wanted to make games for Nintendo. And we were so impressed with the work that they had done that we commissioned them to work on a coin-op game. It was a skiing game. I can't remember the name of it right now, which did pretty well in the coin-op business. And the relationship has grown since then. Now we are in literally daily contact with Rare, and that's not just contact out of Redmond, but also out of Kyoto. Well, I really haven't had too much of a chance to see the other booths, so it's hard for me to comment on either Sony or Sega. There are a number of games being shown, and they are pushing the quantity while we are pushing the quality issue. We're never going to match them with the number of games, but you know, it's kind of like the movie business. None of us would buy into the argument that the best movie studio is the one that makes the most movies. The best movie studio is the one that makes Gone with the Wind. It's the same in the video game business. but you don't make Gone with the Wind all the time. Our relationship with Midway is excellent. We think very highly of Neil Nicastro and Byron Cook. We've known both of those fellows for years. If anybody can make great coin-op games, it's certainly the Williams and the Midway people. They've got some tremendous games coming under development for N64 in San Diego and in Chicago. And so I would say the relationship is excellent. I would expect to see, for example, Mortal Kombat 4 on Nintendo 64 sometime next year. There are several other games that they're going to be releasing as coin-op games that will be outstanding N64 games. So in the 16-bit category, we started out with the predominant market share, and Sega gave us a tremendous run for our money. It ultimately ended up that we won the 16-bit battle, but we got beaten around a lot in the process, and in the process we learned a lot of things about ourselves and about how to best market video games. Right now, in the next generation battle, Sega has fallen on hard times, but you know, in this business, you're only as good or as bad as your next game, and it's quite possible that Sega's market share could increase depending upon the kind of games that they introduce. But right now they're on hard times, and the race really appears to be between Sony and Nintendo. Sony is a little bit different competitor than Sega. They're not known for their game-making ability, as was the case with Sega, but they have a very strong brand. They have very good people that are managing their company, and this is going to be a real fight, but I think we'll do just fine. We have for the last 15 years. We're very impressed with the Claims football game. There's a couple of games from Midway that I can't disclose that we're quite impressed with. We know that EA is already hard at work on some of their key sports titles, and what we have heard and what we've seen so far is very encouraging. I think those three really come to mind. Boss Studios is doing really good work up in Redmond on N64, but we're really impressed with what Acclaim's Iguana Studios is doing. They're really good.